Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today I will be presenting an introduction to computing. In this presentation, we will explore the internal organization of computer system and understand how different computers work together. Especially we discuss the CPU memory input-output system, different type of semiconductor memory, how instructions are executed inside the CPU, bus system and address encoding, hardware and one human architecture, and finally microcontroller and embedded system including the APR family. Let's begin with the basic structure of a computer. Internal organization of a computer. Every computer system consists of three fundamental components: CPU, central processing unit, memory, input-output devices. The CPU is the brain of a computer. It executes instructions one after another. Memory stores both data and instructions. Input devices include keyboard, mouse, sensors, etc. Output devices include LCDs, printers, speaker or robotic arms. These components must communicate with each other, and this communication is done through buses which we will discuss shortly. Memory concept. Memory is any device capable of storing and recalling information. There are three types of important characteristics of memory: capacity, organization, and system. Capacity. Capacity, number of bits stored, for example 123 bits and 256 megabits. Organization, how many locations are in. System, how fast data can be retrieved. Types of semiconductor memory. Memory is mainly divided into RAM, ROM. RAM is volatile memory when losses data when power is off. Types of RAMs are SRAM, static RAM, very fast, non-refresh required, no refresh required, inexpensive. DRAM, dynamic RAM, cheaper, high capacity, requires refreshing, slightly slower. And NVRAM, non-volatile, very fast, expensive. And ROM. ROM is non-volatile memory. ROM stores permanent data. Pure. Mass ROM, CD-ROM, programmable ROM, EPROM, UV erasable, and PEP-ROM, electrically erasable. And flash memory. Flash memory is widely used in microcontrollers. Inside CPU. Now let's look inside the CPU. CPU consists of program counter, holds the address of next instruction. Instruction decoder decodes the opcode. ALU arithmetic logic unit perform arithmetic and logical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and so on. And register small fast storage units inside the CPU. How instructions execute. The CPU follows the fetch, decode, execute cycle. Fetch instructions from memory, decode it, execute it, store result, move to next instruction. This process repeats continuously. How instruction decoder works. This slide explains how the instruction decoder operates inside the CPU. Every instruction consists of two parts: opcode and operand. The opcode specifies the operation to perform. The operand specifies the data or memory location involved. For example, an instruction might mean load a value into register A, add to register, store data into memory. The instruction decoder reads the opcode bits and determine which operation the ALU must perform. For example, opcode 000 may represent loading a value. Opcode 011 may represent addition. Opcode 111 may represent storing data to memory. The instruction decoder activates internal control signals that select registers, enable ALU operations, control memory access. The process works as follows. The program counter provides the address. The instructions in fetched from memory. The instructions decoder interprets the opcode. The ALU executes the required operations. The result is stored in a register or memory. This is the part of the This is part for the fetch, decode, execute cycle. Without the instruction decoder, the CPU would not understand binary machines instructions. It is the control center that translates binary codes into meaningful hardware actions. von Neumann and versus Harvard architecture. This slide compares two fundamental computer architectures. First, von Neumann architecture. In von Neumann architecture, both programming instructions and data shared is some memory and some bus system. This means one address bus, one data bus, one control bus. Because both data and instructions use the same buses, this typically cannot fetch instructions and data simultaneously. This limitation is known as von Neumann's bottleneck. Okay, processors such as Pentium are based on this architecture. Now let's examine Harvard architecture. In Harvard architecture, code memory and data memory are separate. These are separate address buses, data buses, and control buses. This allows simultaneously access to instructions and data, improving speed and efficiency. Microcontrollers such as AVR use Harvard architecture. The main advantages of Harvard architecture include higher throughput, battery performance, improved parallelism. In summary, we say that the von Neumann is similar but slower due to shared buses. Harvard is more efficient, separate buses for code and data. In this slide, we compare the structured difference between a general purpose microprocessor and microcontroller. First, let us focus on the upper diagram to represent a general purpose microprocessor system. In this structure, the microprocessor itself contains only the CPU. All other components such as RAM, ROM, timers, serial communication ports, and I/O input-output ports are external devices connected through three main buses: the address bus, data bus, and control bus. The address bus selects a memory location. The data bus transfers data between components. The control bus manages read and write operations. Because memory or peripherals are executed external, this design requires more hardware connections, larger CPU space, and higher power consumption. However, it provides flexibility and scalability, which is why general purpose microprocessors are used in high performance systems such as desktops and servers. Now let's look at the lower diagram representing a microcontroller. A microcontroller integrates CPU, RAM, ROM, yes, this is timer, serial communications, and input-output ports, all on a single chip. These integrations offer several advantages: reduced hardware complexity, lower power consumption, smaller physical size, and lower cost. This design is ideal for a embedded system where a dedicated function is required. For example, microcontrollers such as 8051, PIC, and AVR are widely used in automation and consumer electronics. The key structure difference is external peripheral versus on-chip integration. This slide provides a consistent comparison. Let's begin with the microprocessor. A microprocessor does not include RAM, ROM, input-output ports on the chip itself. It requires external memory and peripheral devices. Examples include processors like Pentium and PowerPC processors. Because of their flexibility and processing capabilities, they are used in desktop computers, laptops, workstations, and servers. Now moving on microcontroller. A microcontroller integrates microprocessor, RAM, ROM, timer, and input-output ports on a single chip. Example includes 8051, AVR, PIC, ARM-based microcontrollers. Microcontrollers are designed for specific control applications such as TV remotes, video games, robotics, automation control systems. The fundamental difference lies in application domain. Microprocessors are used for general purpose computing, and microcontrollers are used for embedded task-specific systems. In this section, we are discussing embedded systems and their role in modern computing. An embedded system is a system that is controlled by its own internal microprocessors or microcontrollers rather than using an external general-purpose computer. Unlike a desktop computer that performs many different tasks, an embedded system is designed to perform a specific function. It is optimized for one dedicated operation. For example, when we use printer, we do not think of it as a computer, it's at a computer. However, inside a printer there is a microcontroller that processes input data and controls printing mechanism that makes it an embedded system. Similarly, a mouse is also an embedded system. It detects movement and coordinates process them internally and then sends signal to the PC. The PC simply receives processed data. That mouse itself contains internal control logic. This slide also mentions that a PC is connected to many embedded products such as keyboard, printer, modem, desk controller, sound cards, CD-ROM, driver, mouse. Each of these devices contains its own internal controller. For example, a keyboard scans key presses and sends encoded signals. A printer receives digital data and converts it into mechanical motion. A desk controller manages data storage and retrieval. These devices do not rely on PC to control every internal operation. Instead, they process tasks independently and communicate results. This independence is a key feature of embedded systems. Now let's consider why embedded systems are important. They offer compact size, low power consumption, high reliability, cost efficiency, real-time operation. Embedded systems are widely used in automotive systems such as airbags and ABS, consumer electronics such as remote control washing machines, communication systems, industrial automation, medical equipment. Most embedded systems use microcontrollers such as AVR family, which integrates CPU, RAM, ROM, input-output on a single chip. The key difference between a PC and an embedded system is flexibility versus specialization. A PC is designed for general purpose computing. An embedded system is designed for dedicated functions. Embedded systems are everywhere around us. They operate slightly inside devices, performing specific tasks efficiently and reliability. Embedded system is essential because they form the backbone of modern electronics products and automotive technologies. In conclusion, this presentation has provided a fundamental overview of computer organization and architecture. We examined the interaction between the CPU memory and input-output systems and analyzed how instructions are executed through the fetch, decode, execute cycle. We also explored semiconductor memory, technology, system, bus structure, and address decoding mechanism. Furthermore, we compare Harvard and von Neumann architecture and discussed the distinction between microprocessor and microcontroller, highlighting the significance of the AVR family and embedded system design. And understanding these core principles is essential for advanced study in computer engineering, microcontroller programming, and embedded systems development. Thank you for your attention. Allah Hafiz.